5 minutes, guys. We're starting. We got guest Joe Banks with us today. Starting in 90 seconds, guys. Share this around. 50K Maven challenge for the best question for Joe. We're going to introduce him in a moment. All right, guys, welcome back. Maven Live. We got Joe Banks with us today. What a first question. Whoa. Is that me? Is that microphone me? Did you guys hear that?
Is it you?
Sorry? Wait 1 second. Are you guys getting crazy static right now?
A little bit in the background now.
Okay, wait. Okay, I'm wondering if Joe's mic is busted or if my speakers are busted. Okay, wow, because I just got a loud screeching sound. What a way to start. Hopefully that doesn't come back. Okay, guys, big elephant in the room. The market is crashing, first of all, and that does not feel good. I'm trying to pick up a weekly level right now. Hopefully we get a rally here, at least a little bit of a bounce off of this crash, because this is just tormental this morning. James, you took you got some profit today though, right?
Yeah, YM long. So I took a little bit of a profit on that. So a little bit of there was actually quite strong pre-market into the open. So I got the nice little bounce, and then that I'll knock myself out for the day. So that's me done.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't. It's absolutely. There's a ton of momentum right now. Hopefully we're not too distracted by markets dumping on us right here. So, but we are going to get into it. Joe is a ex-founder, owner of another prop firm. I believe it was Cashflow Funding.
No, I think you might be confusing me with someone else. I haven't owned a. Okay, I haven't owned a prop firm before. No.
Oh my God, I got the completely wrong guy in my head. Then, oh my God, that's hilarious. Joe, I think there's another Joe that I was talking to as well that I probably wanted to get on, and I got a different confusion too. That's hilarious. Introduce yourself then, so I stopped looking like an absolute buffoon here. So the audience knows what sort of questions to ask you, okay? Because that's how we're going to determine, where the talking goes, because there's an audience watching, and they're all going to get accounts if they ask good questions.
Joe is also South African, Hunter, so you outnumbered, yeah.
Yeah, I was a little confused because there's two Joes in my head, and I was like, is this Joe? When you joined the free stream.
No worries, man. We all fuck up sometimes. So guys, I'm Joe. I am currently the head of community of Top Tier Trader. Also the head of community of TX3 Funding, which is Top Tier's futures firm that recently launched like 3 or 4 months ago. Doing well. I've been trading since 2018. I've been trading prop firms since probably just after COVID kind of thing. I've been through them all. I don't know if you guys even remember. There was a firm called Funding Talent that they were like, along with FTMO, one of the first ones, I think. And
that was
yeah, that was ancient times ago. Like I still remember I was about to get a 5K payout from them, and then I got an email that was like, hey, sorry, can't pay you, we're closing up shop. So yeah, I had to go and start all over again somewhere else. Been through my Forex funds as well. So yeah, I've been trading for quite a while. Lately, I'm still trading. I just don't have that much time to trade anymore. But because running community is a bit of a full-time gig, and I absolutely love it. I love running communities and all that stuff. So yeah, that's a quick short intro.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, we always need to lay that ground rules to see, because some people that come on the podcast, they don't trade at all. They just kind of run things behind the scenes, and then you get different perspectives. So it's really nice to see that, hey, you're a trader, and you're also running a community, and you're also running with prop firms, right? So people have a lot to work with questions.
Joe trades a lot of the when you do get a chance to trade, Joe, you do trade a lot of the DAO YM, which I traded today, right?
Yeah, I actually did trade DAO today, and I made some money on.
Wait, long as well?
Yeah, just after New York Open. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, basically same trade as me. Then good stuff, bro. Nice.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. So, Joe, first question. First of all, it's August right now. You've been trading for a long time. Does your and I've heard this in the community lately is, August is, liquidity gets lower, trading gets more volatile. People don't like to trade in August. Some people don't trade in August at all, right? Do you adapt your strategy throughout the year to trade differently, or do you notice traders on your platform trading differently?
I wouldn't say I've noticed it a lot with traders in our firm. I don't particularly have all that access in the back end to see that, but I can tell you it looks like a lot less traders are getting paid recently. My personal strategy, no, I've been trading. I've been through all kinds of different variations of making my own strategy, and I've been trading the same way for about 3 years now. I just don't adapt it according to the time of the year, I guess. I might adapt it slightly during certain sessions because I prefer New York, like this time New York more often than not than open, when it's slightly calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
I do trade it in London sometimes too. The only way I would adapt the strategy is I'd probably go a little bit more aggressive during London because the volume's a little bit lower. So my stop losses tend to be a little bit less risky, so I can go a bit more aggressive with the trades then. But honestly, during London session, usually I'm in the gym, so I don't often look at the charts that time.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it's also quite tough. You see, Hunter. You are now for like 2 months in my time zone or Joe and I's time zone. It's quite tough to be trading all day, every single day.
Yeah.
So we trading London, and then you come into trade New York as well. It can be quite tiring, and I've actually been in the process of automating some of my trading in the London session on the DAX, so I don't actually have to be on the desk at all. So
you're going to be using a bot.
Well, basically a bot. Yeah.
So what kind of strategy do you use, Joe? You say you're more aggressive in the London, less aggressive in New York. Is it just break down rough strategy so people can kind of understand what's ended up working for you after 7-8 years?
Yeah, so I've tried, like I said, I've tried everything. I started off as a swing trader, just trading currency pairs. That's what I learned. And I kind of back then built my own sort of strategy around what I learned from the course I did, which wasn't exactly the same. And then after a while, I decided I wanted to trade indices. And just before I get to my current strategy, there was a time in COVID where I was trading the NASDAQ, and I went through a period of 6 months where I couldn't lose. Like whatever I did worked. And it was as simple as waiting for 15-minute support and resistance to be retested. And as soon as it touched it, I would just stack entries. And as soon as I made a certain target amount of money, I would close it and be done for the day. And after about 5-6 months, that strategy just decided, hey, we don't want to work anymore like that. So I ended up losing half the money I made.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a tough time. And I mean, I think that is the moral of the story. I always say to people, there was a time I actually did do some mentorship and taught some people trading too. And I say to people, you will always go through winning streaks and losing streaks. And if you can survive the losing streaks and continue, then you can make it. The only way you won't make it is if you quit. So that period that followed that winning streak was the hardest psychology period that I've ever had to come through.
Yeah.
And I was borderline depressed, man. And I'm pretty sure we've all been there, So currently, my strategy is very simple. It's two things. I only trade. I look for support and resistance on the 1 hour time frame, and as soon as it gets into the 1 hour support or resistance, retesting it, I go to the 1 minute, and I basically wait for the exact same thing, and to see some sort of reversal on it. And as soon as it breaks and retests a little 1 hour support or resistance in the direction that I want to go, I'll enter with my stop below the last swing. And it's as easy as that. And I've been doing that for 2.5, 3 years now, and it's served me well.
Yeah.
Joe, I thought you were going to say, when you say it's two things, Hunter, normally in South Africa, the two things the Oaks do, they buy on one account, they sell on the other account, and then they sell to the winner.
Close to the winner, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. We got a question by Ricket. I'd probably pronounce that wrong. It looks like that's difficult for me to pronounce. Okay. Anyways, what makes a profitable trader? Is it the strategy or the psychology? Just talked on both. So, fitting question.
I think anyone can build a strategy that has a consistent win rate. I think it's more than psychology. I think it's confidence, and that is to execute your strategy every single time without fail, not second guess it. So yeah, probably more psychology, but you look at a trade, you see your entry, take it every single time. Like for me, I don't take more than 2 trades a day. If I've lost one, I will look for another one. If I had a winner, I'm done for the day. So that's also just how I put discipline in place for myself to not overtrade, to not get greedy. I think that is the most important thing, is discipline.
Yeah, I noticed you said earlier that you would stack trades, first of all, which when you're saying that, I'm picturing you DCAing in at a zone.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah,
and
that was what I did. Yeah.
Once it gets to a certain price, of profit, you're good to go and gone for the day. Right. And I noticed that that is probably some sort of psychological aid that you're using to keep you in the game longer. How did you come up with, what level you would leave and how would you walk away? You know what I mean? Does this make sense?
So with the old way I traded, when I was stacking in trades, I had a profit target, which was 5,000 Rand, which is probably about $300. And I mean, if you make 5,000 Rand a day in South Africa, you're making good money. And I remember that April month in August, I won 20 out of 24 trades. And it was probably my best month yet. Now, for me, it's different. I don't stack trades anymore. I don't DCA in anymore. I take one position with a percentage risk. I'm quite conservative. I'm a conservative trader now. Like I was completely kamikaze back in the day when I was doing the stacking thing. Now, I don't risk more than, most of you guys are gonna laugh at me, but I don't really risk more than 0.5% on a trade. And what I would do is, I'm a very high proponent of taking risk off the table as soon as possible and taking partial profits. So for me, as soon as I'm like, let's say 200 pips or something in profit, or my first trading mentor said, when you're smiling, close the trade. So now when I see, okay, I'm happy with that amount, I would put it at break even and I'll take 50%, and then the rest I'll let run to either I'm smiling more or it's at my TP or the break even trail stop. If sometimes I would trail it too. If I'm in a trade longer than 10 minutes, I'll probably trade it. But now, I mean, this morning's trade was probably about 6 minutes, and the winner I had yesterday was less than 2 minutes. So, and that's something that I find quite funny. Is like I saw somebody post on X yesterday, if you can't swing, you can't win. And I'm like, I haven't been a swing trader for 3 years and I'm still winning. So,
Interesting.
Did you ever DCA on prop firms or not? Because I think that personally what I found is that obviously with prop firms is there's obviously a little bit rules that you have to obviously follow compared to personal trading capital, like you're saying, making that 5,000 Rand a day. Like if you put in 10 grand, like you can basically risk that whole amount on a personal trading account, and you can DCA compared to a prop firm. Obviously, you got drawdown limits, right?
Yeah. So back in the funding talent days, I did DCA in, but I'd be honest with you, I most of the time blew the account, because you think you would have more room to wiggle because you have more capital, but it doesn't work that way. You actually only have that 5% you can.
It would be interesting. What were the rules with that funding talent back in the day? It's interesting to see, because Hunter, obviously you being in the prop firm, and you obviously Joe as well, but like to see how we've progressed, right? Like from what looked like, if you can off the top of your head, what were the rules kind of when you first joined or started trading prop firms with funding talent?
There wasn't a lot of strict rules. It was basically, your 5% daily drawdown, your 10% or 8% or whatever it is, max loss. They had pretty much had rules against cheaters.
Okay.
It was you can't do account management.
Yeah.
I remember I once did get a violation for that because I was trading with 3 or 4 of my friends, helping them, and did not read the rules properly, and got a violation for that. They gave me another chance, and pretty much the other things were like arbitrage. A lot of people find latency arbitrage a way to kind of game the system. That was pretty much it. There weren't any lot size. They had a consistency rule, but it was not like we see today. It was more towards the end of your position sizes has to be like similar. If you
trade like 20 lots and then 0.1 lots basically.
And
yeah,
I imagine it was more up to the firm's interpretation of what consistency is, right? There's no, as the industry develops, things get much more strict, right? Of what is what. Do you remember Blue funding or Blue FX or something like this? And they had a subscription model on the CFDs. This was back in 2020, I think. I'm just trying to recall of what that one was, but I was hoping that you would actually remember that since you've been around in the prop firm so much. Give me an answer for this one. You trade prop firms and your own personal funds. How do you trade them differently?
With prop firms, I try to build it like I am building capital. And what I mean by that is I would be more conservative with my risk because, first of all, if you're used to trading a small personal account or smaller personal account, if you see your trade is $200 in drawdown versus $2,000 in drawdown, it kind of messes with your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously over the years I've gotten a bit more immune to that, and I mean I think everybody that says they're immune to losses talks rubbish. It gets to us all a little bit, at least a little bit,
Oh yeah.
But I would say with my personal capital, I'm definitely a bit more risky because I wouldn't fund my account with more than I would be willing to lose. Not that I'm going to go and risk the entire amount with one trade, but I won't put more in a broker than I'm willing to lose because we did have some brokers here a few years ago that had some of our money and then just vanished off the face of the earth.
JP Morgan.
They're back now.
They're back to get more bucks. They're going to pay for the lawsuit.
Interesting, interpretation of that is oftentimes people actually think brokers are the safer one, right? And people, because you're only putting a deposit on the prop firm. But the reality is, you're putting a lot of money into the broker if you're trading with you're putting in thousands of dollars instead of hundreds.
I actually know Joe from that JP market. One of my mates lost like $60,000 to $70,000. I mean that's a flipping lot of money for anyone. And obviously they weren't regulated, from what I know. But with prop firms, you can actually only lose the amount of money that you pay for the challenge. So if you quite a nice thing. So if you decide to take a challenge with whatever prop firm you decide, the worst thing that can happen is you lose the account, you lose the money that you paid, and it's basically actually already out of your account. It's not like you have to go. You know what I'm saying? It's already done. It's gone.
Yeah, I had that exact conversation with a friend of mine earlier today, actually, and I said to him, when I trade prop firms, I pay $500 for a 100K account. It doesn't feel like I'm trading money. It's like, you've
already paid for
different.
The account. Yeah,
exactly.
Here's here's a question from Fearful Trader. I'm going to reword it slightly. He says, can prop firms create better traders or only test existing ones? I'm going to kind of reword that to say, what's your interpretation of people using prop firms to learn how to trade versus their own personal funds or demo funds?
That's a good question. So if you asked me this question 2 years ago, I would say always go personal capital first. The reason I say that, and I probably still feel the same, I just might not be as religious about it anymore, but I remember funding my very first trading account with $100. And that first loss of $3 was the end of the world. The feeling was the end of the world. And there's just nothing that schools you more in getting used to losing than losing your own money.
Yeah.
You know, so I always say, if you're starting out, fund it with whatever you can. $100, I think, is a good amount. If you can only do 50, do 50. And the point of that money is to lose it slowly.
Yeah.
You're not going to make money off that $50. Not much. So you have to lose it slowly and get used to the losses, because if there's one thing that's certain as a trader, is you will lose money. There's nobody that wins 100 trades in a row. It's just not true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. James and I were talking before the stream a little bit, and we were saying that, you know, the difference between prop firms and our own personal funds, and exactly that is when I'm trading my own personal funds. If I lose $100, I'm freaking out. But if I'm down $4,000 on the prop firm, who cares? I'll just buy another.
Yeah, I agree, dude.
Which is equivalent to $100 basically, like a couple $100. You buy a new challenge, you know. And it's ironic because it's the exact same thing, but because it's not real money, right? It's this money that you could make money later, right? It completely dissociates myself personally from the actual, you know, profit of it, right? So it actually allows me to trade better. So
I agree.
Yeah.
If I'm in a loss of, like, let's just say I lose a grand on my personal account in a day, I feel shit, dude. I'm like, geez, I'm gonna stop trading my personal account for like a week, and I'll just trade prop firms. But if I lose like $2,000 across 3 prop firm accounts, and like let's just say I don't blow the accounts, I've maybe got $6,000 I'm drawing. I'm like, okay, here's what it is. Like, I'm chilled. You know what I'm saying? But so it's quite right. It's quite funny actually. For personal capital, it makes you feel it a lot more.
A question from Deep J. What do you do after a I think I'm reading this wrong. What do you do after a big win or a big loss? You know,
I think it should always be the same. It shouldn't matter. You should treat it as just another trade.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can run through all the scenarios that we've all been through. You know, like I used to lose and then try and revenge trade. I'm going to make it back now, and then you just double up your losses. That's the last thing you should do.
Yeah.
But for me, you have to get to a place where you feel the exact same about both of them. And that is easier said than done. And it's not going to be the case that after you win 10 grand or you blow a prop account, you're going to feel the same. It's just not true. But whereas to your emotional response is to what it is should be the same. Like, you're going to feel different, but you should be responding emotionally the same. So for me, big win, big loss, small win, small loss. If I decided this is the trade for the day, I'm done for the day. And I won't even look at a chart until the next day.
Okay. So that begs the question, what strategies do you use in order to help you not be emotionally attached to the big wins and big losses?
I don't think there's a particular strategy, to be honest with you. I just think it's experience.
Gotcha.
And time. You know, like you it's like when your girlfriend breaks up with you. The first month's fucking horrible, you know. A year later, you don't even remember her name. You know what I mean? So
it's true. It's true. There are girls like that.
Yeah, and I mean, then you go through another breakup, and it hurts less. You know what I mean? So it's just time and experience in the markets. And I mean, one of my first mentor told me 10,000 hours is what you want to do. You want to spend 10,000 hours behind the charts. Now, I don't know how close I am to 10,000 hours. I never measured it, but you know what I mean? And I think once you get, it's just a nice way of saying time. You need time. And that's
there's a saying, as well, Joe, that goes like this: only the game can teach you the game. You know?
Yeah.
So
100%.
It's tough to explain to someone or what to do if they haven't experienced it themselves, you know?
I absolutely hate that analogy that you used about breaking up and then just keep churning new girlfriends until you're
churning new girlfriends
until you're desensitized by the breakup, so that you can just keep doing it over and over. It's so accurate, and I hate it.
No, I mean, I had it too, but it's still the truth, you know. Like it's like anything. Like time yields it all. Like time will make you. And I think people saying you should be, like I said earlier, you should be emotionless towards any trade is full of shit. You can't be. The only thing you can be is can control is your response to that emotion. You know, so if you take a big loss, just go do something productive. If you can't control yourself and still look at the charts, go just get out. Like for me, I would literally just turn off the charts for the day. Like put the computer off, whatever. Just not even be close to my office because I don't have MetaTrader or TradeLocker on my phone anymore. I have it on an old phone that lies in a drawer somewhere where I literally just go if I've had a win, I take a screenshot to post on X.
Right on. Another question from Fearful Trader is he's asking about back testing versus live testing. I'm just pulling that question out, somewhat unrelated of what we're talking about right now. But I noticed myself, and this was a huge thing for me, is every time I back tested something while learning, it worked well. And then I would go into the markets and it wouldn't work. Right. What's your experience with that? And, you know, is back testing a scam, you know?
I wouldn't say it's a scam, but I do feel a little bit different about it than most traders. Like I personally think back testing is a little bit overrated. And so is journaling, in my opinion. Yes. I think if it works for you, by all means, keep doing it. But I'll tell you, the most I've learned ever in the market is sitting right here at this desk, staring at the live chart for days and days on end, and literally learning what every 1 minute or every 5 minute candle is doing before even taking a trade. Like when I realized what Nasdaq was doing when I was having that winning streak of 6 months, I was watching it for 3 months, like every day, do the same thing all the time. Yeah, and that I think that is step one. Is if you don't trade, don't even paper trade, just sit and stare at the charts for days on end. And once you notice something, like mark up your levels, put your trend lines if you use trend lines, whatever, mark it up, notice what that particular pair is doing that you are trading. And that's why I prefer to trade just one pair, because again, it's like you're in a relationship with this thing. You know exactly what it's going to do when it does this later on. You know, sure. So for me, that was, and that's how I discovered the way I'm trading now. Is just sitting and staring at the charts. And once I realized, I think this is what it's doing continuously, then I would take what I've seen and go and back test it. Then I'd say, okay, I did it here, did it here, did it, but didn't work out, was a loss. You know, you can then kind of build a arsenal of saying, the last 40 trades, there were 30 winners and 10 losses or 2 break-evens based on how I would have done it. So I think live test it first, or live just stare at the charts and then go and back test it.
I agree with that, Joe. Because at the start of this, I said I'm busy working out some automation stuff on the DAX for the London session. And if you are trading purely from a systematic point of view, backtesting is great. You're gonna know what your results should be like going forward, or should be around going forward. But for me and Hunter and like you as well, where we're discretional traders, we can't backtest what we're gonna do in real time. It's, as you said, it comes from staring at the charts and experience. Like it's important. To be honest, I agree with it. It actually doesn't mean anything if you're not going to follow those exact same rules in real time, which I know I don't. I'll go a lot based on like feel, you know.
Yeah. I'm I have to agree as well. You even mentioned something about journaling, which is a hot take. And funny enough, I was actually yelling about journaling on my personal live stream this morning, and I think it's ridiculous because you're not actually doing anything, because all you're doing is you're telling yourself what you should have done in the past based off of, but you're not journaling the emotions that you're feeling. You're not journaling, how you're reacting, instead of like, you can get a script of what the strategy is in a day, right? But what you should be journaling is, what you're thinking and the thoughts and how you're reacting, rather than what the trade setup was. You can just go look at the trade setup on the screen and be like, hey, that was it. That's all. Like, there's nothing to log, right? It's like you're logging down like your checklist for work to me. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, we checked that plug, that one works. Okay, I checked this sensor. Okay, that one worked, right? It's silly, mundane work to me, and I have to completely agree with that. But I guess, yeah, like you said, if it works, it works.
I do meditation for 4 hours before I trade, Hunter.
4 hours, eh? So you wake. Good thing you're in South Africa, because you would be up at 2 a.m. if you're doing that here. Cool. Yeah. So a question about. Oh man, the questions just bumped up. There are tons of them. I didn't even see what it was. Okay. Can you combine mechanical, subjective, and instinctive trading into one strategy? And I guess, how would you do that? Because that's kind of related to what we're talking about, right? Is subjective trading versus mechanical trading. That's what I want to hear your opinion
on. Well, if we talking based on subjective, it's kind of like James just said about you kind of go on your feeling about it, right? For me, I know I said earlier you should, if you see your setup, execute every single time, right?
Yeah.
But I feel personally, if you've watched one pair long enough, you know that even though this is what I usually go for, it's not going to play out now. So I think that's why I'm a very big advocate of trading just one pair, because you get to know, I want to say, its personality. I don't know what other word to use there, because I can literally sometimes see, even though this is like, it meets my criteria to enter, I know, or there's a high probability that the current volume in the market or whatever is not sufficient to push me to where I want to go, or it might just not react off the level the way it is. So I think, once you, again, when it comes back to time in the markets, you get to know instinctively, should I or should I not? I don't really know if that answers the question fully, but
yeah. Sure. I think it really comes down to, authentically asking yourself, rewording what you're saying. Is this actually a setup, or am I gambling? You know what I mean? Is this actually going to be profitable for sure? And I've proven that through my method. Or am I here being impatient and it kind of looks like it, so I'm going to please be right,
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Salim here, I guess further that a little bit further, he says, how can you know then if that edge is real, or it's just randomness that's kind of popping up and disguised itself as patterns?
I think your edge has firstly nothing to do with your strategy. Like I said, I think anybody can build a strategy based on technical analysis that proved itself to be profitable over a period of time. Your edge is the ability to take the trade, not cut it short if it's going where you want to go, or if it's in a little bit of drawdown, not being able to withstand it and trusting your analysis. I think that is more important than the strategy itself. It is the edge for me is that it's proven itself over a period of time. You have proven it by taking X amount of trades, whatever. I personally think that 30 days, 90 days is not enough. I think you need at least 6 months worth of consistent wins to say that the strategy is working. But the edge is being able to stick to the plan. And that is like, even if you're finding yourself in a trade and you're praying, you haven't developed that edge yet. If you are saying, oh, we're going up here, but I want to cut it short, that's why I love taking partial profits. Is if it's like 70% to where I want it to go, I will take, and I feel that urge to, I want to take money here, because what if it reverses? Take part of it and put a trail stop in, put a break-even stop in, and then you're just like, okay, it's hit break-even or it's a TP. Either way, I made money. And I think that for me is a edge, is that ability to extract profits, no matter what.
Right on. Yeah. Let's play Would You Rather. James, you want to play? Joe, you know the game?
Yeah.
Of course. Okay.
I got the first one.
You got the first one? Give her.
Would you not? Because you mentioned about top tier having futures and CFDs. I don't know if you've tried the futures yet, but would you rather trade CFDs or futures?
Yeah, good.
Well, I've only played around with futures a little bit recently since we've been able to, as South Africans, with TX3 and some other ones. I haven't really fully taken it on board yet, so CFDs.
Okay.
CFDs, yeah. Well, being in South Africa, I think you're biased for that one, right? But that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Especially the DAX is so good for European and South African time.
It is,
right?
Yeah.
Right on. Cool. Then you said you trade the Dow, right? What would you prefer, Dow or the NASDAQ?
It's a hard question because I kind of have a love affair with NASDAQ. Like my first big money I made was NASDAQ.
Yeah.
I was having a funny conversation with a friend earlier, and I told her it was this whole swing trader debate, and I told her my best ever trade was 12K in 22 seconds on NASDAQ, and that's true. I still have a screenshot of that.
Did you fat finger and then it went in your favor?
No, it was at market open during COVID.
Oh,
and I just went short and it.
Wow.
And, I was live capital, so I have a love affair with NASDAQ, but I prefer Dow. It's just I've found a stable home there. NAS is the side chick, Dow is the main
Right on. Yeah, cool. I got another running a prop firm, working in a prop firm, or being a trader. What if you only could choose one?
That's again difficult because I think it's everyone's dream to just be trading full time.
Yeah.
But right now the balance I have is very good for my mindset to I don't have to look at the charts all day. I can take a trade and I can close it and have other work to do.
I like this guy.
If I could only choose one, though, I'd probably choose working with a prop firm. But I would want to be doing what I'm doing now, and it's running communities. For me, being involved with the traders all day long and sorting out problems for them and things like that, I absolutely love it. So
yeah.
I think you and I might be doing a very similar job. So I do the community and the influence sort of stuff, and then also I trade. And I say this all the time on live stream is, if I didn't have Maven, I would not be as good of a trader because I can do exactly that. If things are going wrong, I can just go do this other work. I have other things to do. I'm not identified with being a trader, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You got any would you rather, James?
I'm thinking what you guys are asking away there. Would you? Okay, I don't know if you've experienced the different time zones, but would you? Okay, let's give one right now. Would you rather trade? If you could in the London session, would you rather trade in the London session or New York session? If you could trade the NASDAQ or Dow in the London session.
Well, my strategy does work well on the Dow in London, but I prefer New York.
Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean, with London it does work, but just it doesn't give you a trade every day. But with Dow, it gives you a trade every day, and I just prefer it because by then, here by 4 p.m. our time, most of my heavy lifting is done. Sometimes there's some meetings I have to take, and I'm I have my video off and the chart open in the background.
I do actually having my mornings off, and then I trade New York session for a couple of hours. It is pretty neat. You know, you don't have to.
Yeah,
So
I'm the opposite. I think we just get used to what we do. I'm the opposite.
I agree.
I love being done by noon.
Yeah.
Really awesome question here, actually. We might finish it off with this, and then I got one more for you. What's a belief you hold today that your past self would have disagreed with?
A belief I hold today.
It's a big one, hey?
That my past self
Question
would
for
disagree
Broken
with.
Balls.
I need to think about that one a little bit. I think just to answer it broadly is if you still believe all the same things that you did a few years ago, you're not growing. Maybe I could say this is I believed when I got into trading, I believed like this is the only way to make money. You know, like I didn't come from a very well-educated background. I did go to college, but I was studying to be a personal trainer. You know, so there was never going to be the kind of money in that there is in trading. You know, so I believe that trading is the only way. There's a lot of other ways to make money, especially online. I mean, building communities for me, I found what I love doing in that. But I think it's funny. It's a good question, actually. Like I have I wouldn't say it's a vision board, but it's kind of like a target list. I don't like to use the word goals or whatever, but that I reevaluate every 6 months, and I'm tracking progress in money and mindset and fitness and everything every 6 months. And for me, if I'm in most of those things in the same place I was 6 months ago, there's a problem. Mm-hmm. Like I have to continuously grow and evolve. So it's a bit of a broad answer, but I feel like we should continuously get to that place where old thoughts and old habits die.
Change your beliefs.
Replaced by better new ones.
You have to change your belief system in order to be, to evolve. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up here. I got one more question for you. It's going to be just a very general question, and I'll let you think on it for a second here too. Is if you had one piece of advice for traders who are new or learning into, how to fast track themselves to profitability, what would that be? But before we answer that, plug where they can find you on social media, so that people do want to follow along. Joe Banks has been a very awesome guest here today. So
I only have Twitter at the moment, which is, or X. I must get used to calling it that. Mm-hmm. It's Joe Banks with 2 S's because somebody already had the name with 1 S. That's all. Yeah, that's the only social media I use. I used to have all the others, but I don't use them anymore. And Discord, you can come and find me in Top Tiers Discord if you want to hang around. Okay, so a piece of advice for people to fast track. Like I think it comes back firstly to what I said earliest. I think ideally we all want to trade with prop firms' money, right? Like we trade their money. But start with a small personal account. In my opinion, it's a great way to get started, and also build discipline. So I'll give you an example of what I did when I just started. When I just started becoming profitable, I used to fund my broker account with 2,000 Rand, which is what is it now, like just over $100.
Yeah.
And my thing was, obviously you can't risk 1% on $100 account, so I would risk 20-30%, whatever it was, I don't remember. But my rule was, if I lose that money that week, I'm done for that week. Mm-hmm. At the end of the week, whatever the profits were, I would straight up withdraw it into my bank account, put it in a savings account, and let it build up. And then over a period of time, I increased that $100 account to $300, whatever. So I think learn to be disciplined. For me, my personal advice is pick a pair, pick a session, and stick to it and learn it. And literally sit behind the charts. Just don't even take a trade. Mark it up. Just stare at the charts all day long. That is for me, that was the golden ticket to learning. And I mean, like, I really mean it. Just stare at it.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff, Joe. I'm so glad that we got this Joe on the podcast and not who I thought I invited on, because this guy's very, very, very wise. Beautiful stuff, guys. Thanks for joining, Joe. If you guys like Joe, maybe we can get him on again in the future. Maybe do some live trading too, because he's a quite insightful guy. But we can discuss that if you guys want to talk in the Discord, and let us know. Thanks for being on, Joe.
Anytime, guys. Thank you. Awesome.
Oh, the winner of the giveaway is Boss. Let me see. Broke to Boss. Okay, from that beautiful question that he wrote there. So open up a ticket in Maven Discord to win. Yeah. Okay. See you guys next week, every single Tuesday at 11 a.m.